June 12, 2025, began as a typical summer day in Ahmedabad. The city bustled with routine, families, students, travelers, all moving through their morning. At Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, everything seemed normal. But in a moment, that normalcy shattered. News of a disaster at the airport spread rapidly, turning hope into horror. What started as a day of plans and reunions became a day of national tragedy. The city fell silent, united in shock and disbelief. Ahmedabad, known for its resilience, was brought to a standstill by grief. The sun set on a city forever changed, marked by loss that would not soon be forgotten. Air India Flight AI171 was scheduled to depart for London Gatwick, a journey that promised to connect two worlds and countless lives. On board, 230 passengers and 12 dedicated crew members prepared for the long-haul flight, each carrying their own stories and expectations. Among them were students eager for new beginnings, families reuniting after years apart, business travelers chasing opportunities, and public figures representing hope and ambition. The crew, seasoned professionals with years of experience, meticulously prepared for what should have been a routine and uneventful journey across continents. The flight itself was a living mosaic of India, people of all ages, backgrounds and dreams, united by the hope of reaching a distant destination. As the airplane doors closed and the final checks were completed, a sense of anticipation and excitement filled the cabin, mingled with a touch of nervousness. Passengers settled into their seats, gazing out the windows, unaware that fate had something unimaginable in store for them. The journey, meant to bridge continents and bring people together, was tragically cut short just moments after takeoff, shattering countless dreams. In a single instant, hopes, plans and futures were lost, leaving behind only shock and sorrow. The story of Flight AI171 became one of heartbreak and loss, a tragedy that touched families, friends, and an entire nation. Flight AI171's journey ended before it truly began, leaving a void in the hearts of many, a void that can never be filled, and a story that will never be forgotten. Takeoff seemed routine, with the crew and passengers settling in for what was expected to be a normal flight. As Flight AI171 lifted into the sky, the city below slowly faded from view, and the aircraft climbed steadily into the morning light. Suddenly, the pilots declared a mayday at just over 600 feet, an urgent call for help that sent shockwaves through air traffic control. Eyewitnesses on the ground heard strange, sputtering engine noises and saw thick smoke trailing from the aircraft. The plane struggled to gain altitude, its engines roaring unevenly. The aircraft veered off course, descending rapidly and flying dangerously low over the densely populated city, alarming residents below. In a matter of seconds, it crashed into a student hostel near BJ Medical College, shattering the early morning calm. A massive explosion followed, sending smoke billowing across the city and drawing emergency crews from all directions. The impact was devastating. Windows shattered, buildings shook, and panic spread rapidly through the streets as people rushed for safety. The hostel, once a place of learning and laughter, became a scene of utter destruction and chaos. The crash marked the start of a painful aftermath for Ahmedabad, as families searched desperately for loved ones and emergency responders worked tirelessly. In a matter of moments, hundreds of lives were changed forever, leaving the community in shock and mourning. The city's spirit was tested by unimaginable loss as people gathered to grieve, remember, and support one another in the aftermath. The crash claimed 241 lives on board and 28 more on the ground, 269 in total. In a single devastating moment, hundreds of families were changed forever, their lives split into a before and after. The scale of the loss was almost unimaginable, leaving a deep scar on the city's collective memory. Among the victims were students, families, crew, and young medical interns at the hostel. Each person had dreams, stories, and loved ones waiting for them, lives full of promise, suddenly cut short. The pain of their absence would echo for years to come. Only one person survived, Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, pulled from the wreckage and now fighting for his life. his miraculous survival became a symbol of hope, even as the city reeled from the enormity of the disaster. His survival is a rare glimmer of hope amid overwhelming loss. For rescue workers and families alike, it was a reminder that even in tragedy, the human spirit can endure. Families waited in agony for news, their hopes turning to heartbreak. The uncertainty and fear in those hours were almost unbearable, as loved ones clung to the faintest possibility of good news. Each name on the passenger list represented a shattered future. Every item recovered from the wreckage told a story of a life interrupted, a journey that would never be completed. The tragedy extended beyond the airport, touching every corner of the city. Streets, schools, and workplaces all felt the weight of collective grief as the community struggled to come to terms with the loss. The loss of young medical students and staff was a blow to the community. Their dedication and potential were irreplaceable, leaving a void in the hearts of those who knew them and in the future of healthcare. Ahmedabad united in mourning, sharing a grief that words cannot capture. The city's resilience was tested, but its compassion shone through as people came together to support one another. The ripple of sorrow reached far beyond the city, binding strangers in shared loss. Across the world, people paused to remember those lost and to stand in solidarity with a community forever changed. As rescue teams worked, investigators from India's AAIB began searching for answers. The black box was recovered, holding crucial data about the flight's final moments. International experts from the US, UK, Boeing, and GE joined the investigation. Early signs point to a catastrophic technical failure, possibly engine or control system malfunction. Every piece of wreckage is a clue in the search for truth. The investigation is methodical, aiming to prevent future tragedies. The world watches, waiting for answers to honor those lost. The path to understanding will be long, but it is essential for healing and safety. The nation grieves together, leaders, citizens, and companies responding with compassion. Prime Minister Modi visited Ahmedabad, and Parliament observed a moment of silence. Gujarat declared 3 days of mourning. Air India grounded similar aircraft for inspection. The Tata Group pledged compensation and long-term support for victims' families. Across India, people donated blood, volunteered, and held vigils. The tragedy united the country in empathy and resolve. The search for answers continues, driven by a promise of accountability and justice. In memory of the 269 lost, India stands together, mourning, hoping, and determined to heal.